I think I should be live now. Let me check this real quick here. Send out some some announcements, I guess. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I do look kind of dark, and I'm not seeing the chat in here, which is a little concerning. Let me see if I can pop that out. It sure would be a shame if people were talking to me and I couldn't tell. That would be quite problematic if I do say so myself. That kind of defeats the purpose, you know, having audience interaction. Let's see here. Controls. Where's my YouTube chat? See, go live. I am already live. There's the chat. Oh, hello, everyone. Good to see you. Sorry, it's been a hot minute since I have streamed at all. All right, let's see. We've got, looks like Advanced Cosmere Studies in here. Mo, hello. Cobalt. Nathan Valley. Viola Case from the from the Lumar Wob. Hello. Audrey. Master Bunny. And role player Chadwick. Oh, and then there's more. Hello, hello. Okay. Man. You know what's bizarre? I feel more nervous to live stream than I did to speak at a panel or two. Isn't that bizarre? Congrats on 10K. Thank you very much. Yeah, Odd Analysium's here too. Okay. Well, hello. What we're going to be doing is we're going to start with the Q&A. I don't have that many questions that were submitted to the form, so thankfully it won't be too long. And then we'll go to Kahoot. Now, I must warn you all. This Kahoot isn't easy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Audrey. You did great on your panels too, Mo. Mo, you as well. I cannot hear him because I'm technically with people. Oh, okay. But yes, the Kahoot I made is way too hard because I've learned that my Cosmere fun facts and normal people's Cosmere fun facts don't line up, to the point that my wife got so frustrated when I had her beta test that she gave up. So, I don't know how to feel about that. It's not great. But anyway, let's answer some of those Q&A questions real quick while people roll in. Cobalt says he's ready for the challenge. I hope you are. I'm excited to lose. All right, here we go. So first question is by B Flat. If you could take up one investiture-based profession, i.e. operating oath gates on Roshar, working as a painter on Utah, what job would you take? I'm not sure. I think I would probably take a metallurgist. So if I did not have allomancy and I was living on Scadrial, I would be one of the people that is in charge of making sure allomantic metals are viable alloys. I think that could be a lot of fun. Let's see. Kahoot, okay, what password? Next question. How do you find all the beautiful locations you film at to represent the world you have hopped over to, especially the flower field you had for Nalthis? So, twofold. My parents like to take us to pretty places on like Sunday drives growing up. So a lot of these places are places that I remember from these Sunday drives, as well as locations I was taken in Boy Scouts. So everything I've shot, except for 2 videos, have been in Utah. The Dragonsteel Prime video, that was in Oregon, and the Pre-Shattering Magic and Investiture was in Bear Lake. just north of the Utah border. So that's what I do. Oh, the Sea of Yolo case. Thanks for dropping by. But yeah, I've been lucky to visit a lot of pretty places, and I'm happy to share them with you all. They're places that kind of color my vision of the Cosmere. Thanks, Mo. All right, let's see. Next question. What are your thoughts on the origin and purpose of the time dilation bubble around Roshar? I should probably mention this Kahoot is hard, and there are also some spoilers in there. So have some Cosmere knowledge, but be aware there will be some Cosmere spoilers. I tried to keep it light. But yeah, so time dilation bubble. This is a bit of a spoilery question. I don't think it was intentionally created, which is the last half of this question. Was it intentionally created by Odium? I don't think it was. I just don't. It seems to be a side effect of large amounts of investiture coalescing, which I've been talking to Cosmere Quandaries about this quite a bit, and we both expect there to be some time dilation around Cell just because of the door. But that's what I think about the time dilation bubble around Roshar. Looking at the chat real quick here. Role player Chadwick loves Bear Lake. Me too. Utah's the New Zealand of North America. It really is. You can find just about everything, every biome you need here. Advanced Cosmere Studies. I've got a few lucky places near me, including the inspiration for Keep Venture itself. Yes, the National Cathedral. We do love CJ. Very true, Mo. He's so good. He's such a great guy. Do you have any plans for another April Fool's prank? Do I have plans for another April Fool's prank? I have ideas, and the big problem with this year's April Fool's prank that I have jumping around in my head is it requires a lot of skills that I don't possess. And so I worry that this April Fool's prank would be too ambitious, and that's coming from the Soul of Flight guy. So I might need to come up with a new plan, because I don't think I can pull off what I'm currently leaning towards doing. I have started working on it. If I will continue working on it is up in the air. Let's see. Mo, Jason still hasn't made it down to the Shattered Plains. I know, I keep trying to convince Corinne to head down south that way, but we just are so busy. I plan to, I promise. Let's see. I think Shards Combined leaves a lot of extra investiture. Jason, we can do it for the prank. Adam is kind of close. And Audrey says, I will ensure you to get this prank done. Oh boy. Oh, I've been reading books. I have been watching so many YouTube tutorials. And I'm gonna have to commission like 10 artists, man. I don't know if I have the time or money for it, but it would be really cool. Let's see. Next question. If, say, someone, obviously not me, wanted to acquire 270,000 BEUs of investiture, how might you recommend they go about it? Well, there are a couple of ways. I don't think harvesting breaths person by person is efficient or effective. It seems that, you could really lean into the equivalent unit part of BEU and maybe get a bunch of purified door. That's treacherous, but it seems to be probably your best bet to get unkeyed huge amounts of investiture. So, ask some Ghost Bloods, maybe kidnap an Irie to get them to teach you how to do it. But that's my recommendation if you wanted to get that oddly specific amount of BEUs for some undisclosed reason. Um, more chat questions. Not for art though. Let me know if I can help. I will let you know, Mo. I have been thinking about how I can rope you guys into this. I just need to get some stuff taken care of and the tracks laid down. Let's see. Advanced Cosmere studies. I think they said in universe that all the power of harmonies combining went into reworking the planet. Yeah, so that is kind of what I think happened there too. Like Harmony used up a lot of that power. It was a cleaner union and a more deliberate union of shards. But that is like the biggest wrench, I guess, in that theory. That theoretically we've seen shards combined thrice. 2 out of the 3 seem to maybe have time dilation, and 1 most likely doesn't. Yo, welcome to the 1BEU membership. That's I do not know how to say your name. DJBS Lectures. Welcome. Let's see. What few skills I possess, Jason has better, so I offers him to... No, you don't. You're very good at dissecting my scripts and pointing out a couple critical flaws. Let's see. Next question. Do you ever plan to write a story of your own someday? Yes. I have... yes and no. I don't plan on writing a book. Oh, DJ. Nice to meet you, DJ. I don't plan on writing a book. I think I'd be okay at it, but I am more interested in writing stories for film and short films. So I might do that as my own story. I have a couple of like Cosmere fanfic short film ideas. One is about like a corrupted, a midnight aether in a Khandra host in space. I think that could be fun. Let's see. How do we know there wasn't any time dilation around Scadrial? I guess we don't, technically. But there is nothing to indicate there was, and a lot that indicates there wasn't. So, we know the passage of time seems to be passing at Cosmere standard, just given how things line up with other instances. The Cosmere Academy. Hello, welcome. Fanfic short films. Need. It would be fun. Just like having the idea is one thing, and then setting it up in a 3-act structure is another. All right. Let's see. Next question. What inspired the Explaining series? Was it a book, a combination of multiple books, a system within the Cosmere, or something else? Being unemployed. That's the easy answer. So what I did was have a job out of college. That job fired 70% of their people, and I was one of them. And I have been a Cosmere fan for so long. And so I took some advice of a college professor I had that you'll find success at the intersection between your interests and what's popular, and thought, I want to be using this time to build a portfolio. And that's what started me down the path of making these explainer videos. And then I had success, and I have a lot of fun doing them, and I made a lot of great friends in the community. And so I've continued to do them, even though I'm employed now, which is great. Let's see, back to the chat. Guess we don't know for sure, but we probably would have gotten some indication of that from the timeline. Midnight Essence Khandra in space sounds space horror. Yep, that's the premise, the space horror premise for that one. Basically, the idea is early space travelers from Komashi encounter a ship adrift in space. They go to rescue it. Everyone inside is dead, except for this horrific, multi-limbed, black tendril flesh monster. And he kills one of the people in the party that comes onto the ship. And so everyone else gets out of there. The Condra gets back onto the ship, but they don't think he can get in because it's biometrically locked. Condra. Condra passes it. Let's see. Mistborn trailer script. Sounds a little like Solaris. I don't know what that book is. Are you going to make a video on cultures in the Cosmere? I think per culture makes a lot more sense than like just big. I am working on a video on the Erie Alley right now. Everyone is dead. I mean, everyone. This is the Cosmere. How dead can everyone be? Good point. Conjure have such crazy potential for space horror. I agree, Seth. What about cross-human Shodel hemalurgy? I hadn't thought of that. That could be really cool. I feel like Vartoon is a bit of that, but that could be really cool. The idea I had for Forgery was another horror film where they're using, they're forging people's souls against their will, making them do things, and then they forget it, and then warping their bodies. In other instances, creating just like they're aware of what's going on, and their body isn't their own. Let's see. We got just a couple more questions, and then we can get to the Kahoot. Which subastral would you like to visit the most, or do you like to visit the most? I spend a lot of time in the Rasharan subastral, just because there's a lot going on there. There's an entire robust ecology. It's very dynamic. That's where I spend a lot of my time. I go back and forth between Roshar and Scadrial quite a bit, but I do spend a lot of time in Shadesmar. Do you believe dinosaurs exist in the Cosmere? Ooh, now this is an interesting one. Okay. Yes, asterisk. Dinosaurs most likely do exist because the Cosmere has been around for longer than the events from Shattering to now. So I'm sure on some planet somewhere Idonalcium created dinosaurs. Edge dancing through life. Jason, congrats, we love you. Love you too, me. Woo! I also think that on Scadrial there's oil. So Sazed must have been like, at some point in the past, things died here, so I'm just gonna place that. There's also this weird, it's a broadsheet story, so you gotta take it with a grain of salt and a pinch of copper, but two Chondra fuse into a pterodactyl is the vibe from the broadsheet drawing. I don't know what to make of that, honestly. It's a broadsheet story, but it's still kind of cool. All right, just a couple more questions from the chat, because that's all the questions here on the forum, which means we can move on to the devilishly hard Kahoot. I'm hyping it up. It's going to be not a cakewalk. Haha. Let's see. Are dragons Fane or Unfane, or a bridge between the two? Being a bridge between the two is a cool idea, because they do have their human form, which is the form they have to reproduce in. Thanks for that information, Brandon. But they also have their draconic form, which it's been said that they are Fane, because they've got the 4 legs and the 2 wings, so the 6 appendages. So being a bridge could be really cool, just because of the nature of Yolan. Mo's leaving. See ya. Thanks for stopping by. There's a wob about fuel on Scadrial. I'm sure there is. That sounds familiar. Okay. Well, let me see how many people are here. We got 37 viewers. Cool. Let's go on to the Kahoot. Okay, I'm going to turn off this lo-fi music that I have taken from Lo-Fi Girl. And here we are, the Kahoot. Our game pin is 9094735. It says YouTube is not receiving... Oh, no. I will experience buffering. Ammon says pterodactyls are not dinosaurs. Yeah, that's there. Yeah, you got me there. You got me. Oh boy. Cahoots. We're all in cahoots now. Let's see. We got another question here from Mobes. What would happen to a new herald that swears the oath pact without the Videl method? Sounds like an Adam and Eve Garden of Eden moment. Maybe. Because they'd still be pretty invested, right? So they still would be incredibly long lived, and they were already incredibly long lived due to access to the surges in the first place. The question is whether or not they would have had that sealed on them, right? So I could definitely see a parallel between, the tree of life and the tree of death. Trying to remember the exact wordage, but I remember seeing your comment on the video not too long ago. Edge dancing through life, genuinely terrified of a Jasonian Kahoot. I'm sorry. I am actually sorry. It did make my wife rage quit. Let's see, another question while we're waiting for people to roll in. How and where do you get your shooting locations? I talked about this a little earlier. It's a lot of places from, like places my parents took me growing up, and also places I visited with Boy Scouts. Lone one. Mean dad. Okay. I think we should be ready to go. Unless, looks like Mac got kicked out. We'll give it... We will start in 2 minutes. How does that sound? Let's see. Mac doesn't see himself. That might be because we have a lot of people down here. Gee, I wonder who Kelsier's Bay is. We've also got Professor Kolos. We've got Academy, Radiant Veil, Levi. We got a lot of people in here. This is great. Let's see. Edge dancing through life, but also I love your wife. I miss her. I love my wife too. And I can't say that I miss her because I saw her like 20 minutes ago. She's playing D&D with her family now, so that's good. Okay. 1 more minute, and then we will begin. Man, Kahoot music just scratches this one little part of my brain. I don't know what it is, but it just gets me doing a little jig. I love it. Okay, almost ready. We got 33 pessoas. 32. Okay, let's begin. Oh, this is a Kahoot Plus? Way to put me on blast like that. Which medal is not a pushing medal? Oh wait, do I have to vote? Do I have to vote? Oh no. I hope not. If I have to vote, this'll be awkward. We can't hear the music. All right, how about now? That might be a little better. Okay, copper. Yep. There you go. This delay is awful. It goes so fast. Okay, well, let me try something here. Because you should see the questions on your. Okay, all right. I'm hearing you. Here's what we'll do. Let me adjust some things real quick. My apologies. It has been a hot minute since I've done this. It has been so long since I've streamed. Let me see if I can adjust this delay real quick. Because, yeah, that's no fun. No fun at all. Okay, streaming will increase the preset. Okay. Let me see what I can do real quick, okay? Because, you know, you gotta be able to actually play the game. Don't hate me, but I can bring us. I can bring us a lower latency stream. I just have to stop and restart. So, my apologies. Oh, yeah, went to the BRB screen that had music. My bad. Okay, we'll be right back.